Hi there. Welcome to episode 6 of the TBGS podcast. I'm Sonja Wood, the mother of James. I'm here to tell you the next Shelves of Ambition story. Today's story is all about Atlantis Rising. And also I'm going to chat to you a bit about the value of board games, for us anyway. So after spending hours at the table, I made that sound like it was very, very many hours, but it was a fair time at the table with Atlantis Rising over the last weekend. I'm going to add to my previous statement about how we are finding we enjoy a game more and more each time we play it. So I've been pondering on this, and I realize there's a few factors that influence this. Firstly, we are what I would call careful board game buyers, meaning we research and we watch videos and we read comments and all those good things that you do when you want to decide how badly you have to have this game or not. I know some people are more impulsive buyers, so they get what appeals to them in the moment. And then perhaps the enjoyment of it will be different. It will have a different result to ours. But because we are more on the conservative side, when it comes to buying a game, we are quite sure that we really must have it by the time it comes to paying for it. Because games are costly, and that's what we think. But I know you can also get less expensive games, but we seem to veer towards the more costly ones. And so we like to get as much value out of the game as we possibly can. I suppose some say that one player is enough because, if you go out for a meal or go to a movie at the movie theatre or something like that, you pay about the same as you would for one game. And that is it's a different kind of event, a different kind of an experience, a different memory and so on. But for us, we just love to sit at the table and play a game. In fact, we would choose that over going to the movie theatre and even going out for a meal. But we don't completely ignore those other things. We still do them from time to time. But the thing we do more often is play board games. So we find that we play a game we've bought more than once. And each time we play it, we are discovering things about the value of that game. So I'll give you some examples. When we play a game more than once, we start becoming more familiar with the mechanic, the rules, the strategy, and so on. And so then I found, this is my own personal experience, I found that the theme of that game just starts to come out more and more and more for me. Once I've got a handle on the rules and once I've understood the game and the objectives and everything else, I can immerse myself more in the theme. And I love that because I think the developers and the designers and the artists, they've really put so much into the theme. I mean, I know they put a lot into everything, rule books and strategy and all those things. But it seems to me that the theme is, for me, the last thing that gets noticed when I get a new game. When we get a new game, we put it on the table. It might look beautiful, so then we see the theme, and we might understand the theme from having read the description of the theme and so on and so forth, the description of the game. And because we've watched videos, we're already familiar with the theme and why we actually decided to get that game, because there was all kinds of things about it that we liked. We liked the fact that it was co-op, and we liked the fact that it was beautiful artwork. And there's all these things that play into us making that decision to buy that game. But even after that, we've got the game, we go to play it, and you have to understand it, and you have to understand the rules, and you need to get familiar with how it plays. So that is why I found that after the third or fourth or fifth play, the theme just seems to become more and more immersive for me. And I become more and more immersed in the theme the more I play the game. So then that results in getting immense value from the game. And I'm telling you all of this because that's precisely what is happening with Atlantis Rising. We waited a long time for this game. We saw it, we loved it, and then we couldn't get it. It was out of stock. You probably know by now that we are South Africans, so things are a bit different to being able just to get the game we want to get. We have to find it. And we're very hesitant to buy any game that has to be shipped to us because the likelihood of ever seeing it is becoming rather high risk, actually, less and less and less likelihood of us actually receiving a game that we purchase, that has to be shipped to us. Unless, of course, you've got a brother who lives in the UK, and when he comes to visit us in South Africa, he puts a game in his suitcase and brings it for us, and then we get it. I did a podcast on that, actually. I chatted about that in one of the other podcasts. It's quite a story about the Seventh Continent, that game that we got, thanks to Martin coming to visit from the UK, Martin being the brother. Anyway, telling you all this to say that the story I wanted to tell you today was how much fun we've been having with Atlantis Rising, because each time we play it, it just gets better. So we also, and you know what also, actually, I'll talk about the theme specifically, but the other thing that we've discovered is, it's obvious that the more you play it, the more you get to know certain little quirks about the game. When we first started playing Atlantis Rising, there was a few things like we weren't sure about that and weren't sure about the other. And now we know, we played it a few times and we go, okay, well, we know how that works now. So it just, I don't know if you can identify or relate, but for us, the less there has to be that trip up of how does this work, what is this supposed to be, the more pleasure we get from the game, as in it's smoother and it's just more enjoyable. That's us. Maybe some people like to, figure things out that trip them up, and it's part of the experience for them, and they like that part. But for us, we like it when it goes smooth. Again, I say us, but I'm speaking for myself here. As you've gathered, I am the mother of James, and James has that Board Game Show YouTube channel, and he makes videos to tell people about the games, and he shows them the game and tells them how it plays and all of that. And I think he does excellent videos. Well, of course I do. I'm his mother, so I think that I'm very proud of him. But anyway, I want to support him. I do support him in his ventures of making videos for the board game, for YouTube, for board games. And he's actually got a Patreon page. I think he's got a couple of patrons. Be nice if he had more. So anyway, if you go and to that Board Game Show YouTube channel and you watch a couple of his videos, you will see, I'm sure I won't be the only one that will feel that they are really, really well done. That he's got a standard that he likes to reach, and he's got this quality, and he really puts everything into them, and I just think they're really good. And I would like to keep supporting him to follow this passion and do this thing that he loves. And I just hope other people will also support him. I don't know, through all the things that people do, subscribing and liking and being a patron and all those things. It will just keep it moving forward, which will be nice. Anyway, that was on the side. I was here to tell you about how much we value playing games more than just a few times, because of our shelves of ambition for 2023. That's the big focus for 2023, is to take the games that we've played less than 10 times and get them up to 10 or more plays so they can move from the shelves of ambition into the game library. That's the 2023 goal. And I'm hoping by the end of 2023, we will be able to say that every game we own has been played more than 10 times. That's what I hope for. And I will be sharing the journey with you in these podcasts. So thanks for listening. Thank you for joining me. And go do all those things that you can do that will support James and making videos, and keep them coming for you. And I will look forward to the next game that I'm going to be talking to you about on the next episode. So thanks for listening. Bye for now.